Wildcat fans, welcome back. Another LC Coaches Show, as this time we talk some women's volleyball with LC volleyball coach Brittany Salloum. I'm Brad Welburn, and let's get into a discussion of this week. We got two tough matches last weekend, Dallas and Tyler, as you went over there. First time playing a team for the second time this year. And then, of course, we got a big crossover coming up this weekend, which we'll get into in just a few minutes. But those two matches last week, and I know we talked, before and after those games, that it was one of those deals where, and we said it the first time we played them, Dallas and Tyler, very, very good teams. They're ranked perennially throughout the seasons and stuff like that. But it was one of those deals where maybe they put their best foot forward because of what they saw the first time, first year program, all that sort of stuff. We're just going to, we're Dallas and Tyler. We're going to do our thing. Sure. But then the second match, they were like, okay, we gotta make some things happen. Yes. So did you kind of feel like that in those two matches?
Yes, I definitely second that. That when they came here to play, they hadn't really seen us. I mean, we have a video exchange, so they had probably watched. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they're like, we don't need to watch film. First year program. And thought they were just going to roll over us, and for the most part didn't. And so going into these matches, especially at home, you're always trying to protect your home court. Right. I don't want to say prepared differently for us, but took it more seriously that they weren't going to just come out and win 25-0 without any kind of effort on our part. So I think that we saw a better look from both of those teams this time than we did the first time we played them. So
was it also a little bit of a challenge for y'all specifically because it was a new environment, maybe something the girls weren't used to with, because I know Dallas volleyball is big for them. And they pull out all the stops when it comes to matches and the extra stuff that goes around. So maybe was that something that maybe they weren't expecting whenever you showed up at the gym?
Yeah, I think they were surprised. I think that was the first time we saw a cheer team, and the first time we saw a band. For us, sure, not just in the world. And when we went to Tyler, they do this really epic, for their intro, they turn the lights down and then there's flashing lights and music and all kinds of stuff. And the girls were like, the lights went off and all the girls went, oh, they weren't sure what was going to happen. So it definitely was a different experience. I think it was good. It was exciting for them to see a different, atmosphere in terms of volleyball. Because like you said, it's a big deal at Dallas. So people, they show up and they show out for volleyball. Yeah. But I would never allow them to attribute any of our lack of success to those things, unless a cheerleader was literally 4 inches from the court yelling at them. Otherwise, they didn't hurt us,
I got you. Well, let's move into this week as we kind of, we'll have plenty of opportunities to play those two teams again. We're in the same division in the ASC, so we're going to see them twice a year for the foreseeable future. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to talk about, how good they are. Sure. They are good. But crossover weekend number 2 coming up as you guys head over to Abilene, play Concordia on Friday, and then 2 more teams that we've seen very, very early in the year. As a matter of fact, the first weekend of the program's history, McMurray and Sol Ross on Saturday. So as you prepare for the weekend and you play that first match on Friday against Concordia, which is a team that we've seen played, haven't played them obviously, but so what are you hoping to get and gain out of that match on Friday?
Well, Concordia is a good team, a very good team. So right now we're in a place where everything's mental, and they are struggling they're not struggling to get in a hole. They're getting in a hole just fine. They're struggling to come out of that hole due just purely to frustration. They get so frustrated with themselves, with stupid errors, etc., that it's difficult for them to rally out of that because they're just thinking about the ball they shanked or hitting the net or whatever. So we have to really put our best foot forward with Concordia and do our best to stay mentally above water and just let technique and know-how and experience follow behind that. So it will be a tough match on Friday. Saturday, like you said, we've seen both of those teams, and again, which was true of Dallas and Tyler, as the season progresses, you expect to get better. So I expect that Sul Ross and McMurray will both be better than the first time we saw them, just in terms of having refined some things and knowing where people, are true to their spot, and just getting better as the season progresses. So at one point, McMurray's one of their power hitters, she was out, so I don't know if she's back or not. It was actually at the first crossover she was injured, so I'm not sure if she's back or not, but she definitely scored points on us our first go around. Sul Ross now has a full time, I don't know if she's full time, I shouldn't say that, but an actual head coach, because when we played them the first time, which I didn't realize this, the softball coach was who was coaching them, because they didn't have anybody, which was, he did a wonderful job. So anyway, so they now have a head coach, so I don't know if or what she has tweaked since the first time we've seen them. But they took a set off Dallas at the first crossover, so they seem to be continuing to get better. And so that was a close match for us. Those were close sets. They were sets. So the girls are excited to play them again, while bearing in mind that we have to have gotten better just as Sul Ross has, or else it's not the same match as it was the first time. So,
So, like you mentioned, that first, I think it was the second day of that weekend in Austin College, where you played Sul Ross, and it was, it was 25-23, 26-24, 25-20 something. I don't know the final.
22 or 21.
In the very first weekend, and it could have been one of those things where Sul Ross, this is their third match ever, we're going to do whatever. And then now, like we talked about, are you expecting, you said the girls are excited to play them specifically because of that. But, do you think both teams have kind of progressed from that point to where we are now?
I know for sure.
I know it's tough to talk for Sul Ross because of the new coach and everything. But.
I think what is true of pretty much every team we play is that we are in a relatively competitive conference and people are going to pretty competitive tournaments. So Sul Ross hasn't just been playing, no-name teams since the last time we saw him. So, the better teams you play, the better you get. So Sul Ross, I'm sure, has improved. And I know that we have gotten better technically, just based on who we play. You don't play a team like Dallas and not take something away from it that you can work on and get better from. Again, it's just going to come down to a mental aspect for us. So, and grit. I need him to have some grit. That's what I need.
Not grits.
Not grits. Grit. Yeah, not Southern grits, just grit.
We can make that happen.
Sure.
We can make
no,
that
I
happen.
can't. I can't cook.
Well, be sure to check the website. They'll be streaming and doing live stats and things for the whole weekend. The tournaments, or the crossover, we played at Hardin-Simmons and McMurray, so depending on where the team is, it'll depend on where the actual live coverage comes from and where it goes. But just check the websites. We'll have that all on the schedule, and you can follow how they do on Friday and Saturday of this weekend. So, Brittany, thanks again as always. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook as well, Louisiana College Volleyball. I'm Brad Welburn. We'll see you next time.